Hello, everyone. I'm without my glasses. I can see blobs this evening. I'm the Reverend Kimberly Davis. This is SUUSI Thursday. I just want to very quickly, of course, remind you, keep your masks on while you're here. Be kind to everyone. Also, a reminder that the worship tomorrow morning, led by Jan Taddeo, will be at Hillside Grind. There is parking up there if you have your car near, can drive, maybe carpool. Carpooling is fun. Get a start car early, take an early walk up, but it is going to be a really beautiful service. I also want to just say a word of gratitude for all who supported my first year as nurture director. I call it a win that nobody converted to Catholicism or left the faith, went and joined a cult on my watch. So that's a good thing. I'm kidding. You can join as long as you're being careful and thoughtful. It's fine. Anyway, I want to thank all of the ministers and chaplains and the Covenant Accountability Team for their hard work holding this community in care. I want to thank our virtual hosts, Sue and Wenda, who have been amazing with the online participants and being present with us. And of course, Jay and Joanna, and the rest of the nightlife crew who have helped with all of our technology. Scott and the Western Carolina crew who have made our time here amazing. And of course, all the musicians and the speakers and my partner in worship, Elizabeth Schell, who has been a remarkable influence on the visual and even the language of our worship services. So much has been different this week, this month, this year. Even our worship here at SUUSI has changed. We are different. Our lives have changed since we last gathered, since we have crossed bridges we never expected or even noticed. But tonight, along with those bridges and some rites of passage that are familiar, we acknowledge all that is our life. So in the words of Amy Brooks, we light this chalice to kindle a flame of warmth as a reminder of the connection that draws us into a community that opens us up in gratitude. We give thanks for the breath in our lungs and the love in our hearts for the gift of this day alive. Now, many of us know the African proverb, "It takes a village." Songwriter Joan Smiko set it to music. So we'll sing it through a few times. Lisa and I will share, and you can join as you are comfortable. It takes a whole village to raise our children. It takes a whole village to raise one child. We all, everyone, must share the burden. We all, everyone, will share the joy. It takes a whole village to raise our children. It takes a whole village to raise one child. We all, everyone, must share the burden. We all, everyone, will share the joy.
Good evening. I'm Cindy Landrum. I'm the chaplain for adults this week. And one of the greatest joys of being a minister is getting to perform child dedication ceremonies. And the best part of child dedication ceremonies in pre-COVID times is sometimes I get to hold the babies. There is not enough holding babies in my life, and my own child is bridging tonight. Shout out to the bridgers or bridgies. Yeah. So it was very exciting when Kimberly asked me to do the child dedication tonight, but then in the same breath, she said, but we don't have any babies signed up or any children signed up to be dedicated tonight. So I know you can figure out what to do. So I'm doing something I've never done in my 21 or so years of ministry, which is dedicating unknown children who are not here, or children who are here but not known to me at this moment, or children online, or children who will be here into this community. But we didn't want to just cancel the child dedication because of two reasons. One, we know there are babies and children to be dedicated. They may not be here, but they may be on Zoom, or they may be here and just didn't feel comfortable signing up for a ceremony they didn't know that much about. But also, child dedication is not just for babies. It sometimes is the same as a naming ceremony, but it's about how we welcome new children into our community at any age. And there are new children here. Our community is growing with the new lives we are welcoming in. So this blessing today is for all the children who are new to SUUSI, the SUUSI community, whether new babies who are home or here, or new children coming for the first time here, whether they're 2 or 3 or 16 or 17. This is a blessing of welcome. But secondly, what does a child dedication mean? It's partly about blessing the child, but it's also about us, the whole community. As the song goes, it takes a whole village to raise our children. And we here at SUUSI have only 1 week a year to do this hugely large task of raising our children in this community. But it's a hugely influential week. I've heard this week from so many people in worship, in workshops, and around the lunch tables, how much SUUSI means to them and how influential it has been in their lives. So raise your hand and give a holler if SUUSI has changed your life. Woo! And SUUSI will change the lives of children who come here profoundly. That's why I started coming. I came to SUUSI once to check it out. I came back because I knew it had the possibility to change my child's life. From the cup ceremony they did, I think that was when they exit the youth program, am I right? To the masking ceremony at the end of the middler's years, to the ritual we do tonight of bridging, we build transitions, rituals that mark transitions, but each one is about the promise we make to our children as a community, our relationship with them, our hopes and our dreams and our commitment as the SUUSI community. So that was a long introduction for what is a simple ritual. The first part is a blessing for our children, and the second part is for all of you. So, as we welcome new lives into the SUUSI community, we share this blessing. May our children hear the songs of our community, and may they reverberate in their spirits. May our children learn the wisdom of our community, and may it guide their paths. May our children experience the love, the abundant love of this community, and may it give them strength and solace when needed. And may our children be held in this community for all of who they are, in all of their complexity, in all of who they are now at this moment, and all of whom they will grow into being. Amen. So now, for you, we need to make some promises, covenants about who we are as a community in relationship to our children. So I'm going to say a phrase and you're going to share a response. Your response is, we will share this joy. Practice that with me. We will share this joy. And then the last part is, we will share this joy with great rejoicing. This joy with great rejoicing. Right. In my churches, when we say with great rejoicing, we say it like we mean it. Like we mean that we are experiencing great rejoicing. So when we get to that point, you can yell it, You can throw your arms up, you can jump to your feet, you can wave a scarf in the air, but I want to see and feel and hear some rejoicing. Okay, so again, we will share this joy. We will share this joy with great rejoicing. You're going to know when we get to that part, but that was good practice. Our children are our future and our hope. Will you, the SUUSI community, pledge to nurture that hope and see that hope for the future grow? We will share this joy. Our children will need our wisdom and our help. They will need us to volunteer for their programs, to party with them in community time, to build the SUUSI that we love for them to inherit. Will you work to see that hope for our future grow? We will share this joy. Our children will need our joyful spirits. They will need to learn new games, have fun, play. We have changed things this year, like Wink or the ability to run through the fountains. So they need us to create new traditions with them, to find new ways that they'll engage their spirits in fun. Will you work to see our future grow? We will share this joy. And our children will teach us things. We don't yet know the ways we will be challenged. We will be challenged to grow and change as they discover new truths and lead us into a new day. Will you work to see the future that they envision grow? We will share this joy. But most of all, our children need our love. They need the love of parents, friends, and the love of the SUUSI community for the fact that we are deliberately inherently intergenerational in our spirit. We welcome children and families. Will you work to be the SUUSI that welcomes these children into the life of this community with great rejoicing? We will share this joy with great rejoicing. Woo! Amen. It takes a whole village to raise our children, and we all, everyone, will share this joy. Thank you.
There is great rejoicing in this journey on these paths, crossing these bridges, but sometimes it's really hard to see which of the many possible destinations for us down the road are the ones for us. Sometimes the ones down the road we cannot even imagine. Sometimes it's hard to see the path even beneath our feet. And sometimes all we really want is someone to be with us as we make the choices and then rest in our new realities. Lisa and I would love to share these verses from a song by Amy Speece called Hymn for the Crossing.
Don't speak of night and darkness of regret. Don't speak of today's light fading. Don't speak at all, just sit here by my bed and sing me a hymn for the crossing. The many miles we have roamed, each one a mark upon our bones. In the end we leave alone. Until then, just sing me home. Don't fight the waves, the sorrows of the sea. Don't be afraid when it's raging. Don't fight the waves, let them rock you off to sleep while you sing me a hymn for the crossing. The many miles we have roamed, each one a mark upon our bones. In the end we leave alone. Until then, just sing me home. The many miles we have roamed, each one a mark upon our bones. In the end we leave alone. Until then, just sing me home. Sing me home.
And yes, And it matters. It matters that we remind each other of the stories that we have gathered and the bridges we have crossed. It matters that we hear the stories of our elders who place their hands on our shoulders and guide us as we make the journeys ourselves. And what a privilege it is to have elders with us still, to share stories and insights from further down the road.
I am here among you today as an avid golfer and a longtime SUUSI attendee. This is my 41st SUUSI. This year, my wife and I are here, and my daughter is here with her family. I am grateful for the teen program because now my granddaughter gets to experience it. I realize that I am an elder here, which doesn't seem possible to me, but gives me a chance to look back over these many years on earth and at SUUSI. I am retired now from ministry and was recognized this year for 50 years of service. As a Unitarian Universalist minister, I ended my active ministry, as many do, taking on interim ministries. First, in Richmond, Virginia, where I was able to help the minister emeritus, the Reverend David McPherson, and paved the way for the Reverend Gene Pupke, who became their settled minister. Then I was an interim minister in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, where I followed the beloved Charlie Cast. All three of these, whom we honored in our memorial service on Tuesday evening. I look back a bit further to those congregations I served in Boca Raton, Florida, Media, Pennsylvania, Raleigh, North Carolina, and Cincinnati, Ohio. And as I served those congregations, I also served on the UU Grants panel for 16 years, helping Unitarian churches around the world. And I was part of the Partner Church program, through which I am grateful for being able to preach in Transylvania at a partner church. And I was an active SUUSI goer even through those years. I have taught many workshops here. In 1977, I led a power workshop, which Ellie Long and my now wife of 27 years attended. I also led many works on spiritual journey and wrestling with God, which was based on my book. I served many times as minister of the day and gave theme talks. I am grateful for this beloved community. I first attended SUUSI in Brevard, North Carolina in 1976, then to Radford in 1977 as a young family with 2 children. And I will tell you, I was grateful and still am for childcare. Now I will tell you, I didn't start off a Unitarian. I got a scholarship to Duke Divinity School, intending to be a Methodist minister. But during my first year as a young, excited Methodist youth minister, a senior minister introduced me to Unitarianism, and I became a Unitarian and a parent that same year. Maybe they're connected. I look back to those early years from the scholarship that sent me to college, meeting my first wife, and being blessed by a large family. I was one of 7 children. I am grateful for a mother who taught me how to love and sacrifice, and a father who provided a home and food. The philosopher Soren Kierkegaard says, "Life is lived forward, but understood backward." As I look back, I understand how lucky I am for my life and this community. I am grateful for every transition, every moment, and this beautiful present. Thank you.
Sometimes it's hard to see the path beneath our feet. Like we are traveling at night on a treacherous road full of surprise bumps and unexpected drops. And because it is so dark, it can feel we're alone, even when we're traveling together. Here at SUUSI, we say, I'm here too, to partner with you, good times and bad, to accompany you on this path, to hold up a light for you, to help you when you stumble. Each year at SUUSI, we ritualize our travels on this road through this bridging service. Marking milestones is very important. These rites of passage we honor tonight are the ones that we as a community have intentionally chosen to signify. We welcome new children and new adults into our intentional, multi-generational community and promise to be an extended family to them.
We are weaving our lives. We are weaving our hearts and our minds. We are weaving the bright and dark threads of our journeys through.
But whether we mark them or not, transitions happen. Babies and little ones enter into the life of a family and a larger community. Tweens become teens. Teens take steps into young adulthood. And when the road is dark, sometimes we step onto a bridge before we even realize it. Sometimes we're already over the bridge before we know that we crossed it. Transitions, bridge crossings are happening. They are happening all the time throughout our lives. There's the bridge that some of us cross when we live by ourselves for the first time as a young adult and have to figure out how to do all the things. Or live by ourselves for the first time as an adult after a long time not living alone and have to adjust. There's the bridge that many cross when we start a new job and have to adjust our lives to a particular workplace culture, or when we retire from a job and have to adjust to identifying as something other than our vocation. There's the bridge that some of us step onto when a child comes into our lives by birth or adoption or fostering or just extended family or friends, or when there are no longer any children under our roof and we experience an empty nest. There's the bridge that we have crossed with pride or may have crossed in secret when we know who we are attracted to or that we are really not attracted to anyone, or when we begin to explore or discover our gender. There's the bridge we may seek to avoid, but inevitably comes at some point in our lives when we aren't as able-bodied as we want to be because of health issues or accident or aging. Of course, there's this bridge that we've all been forced onto in this pandemic, this in-between space where everything has shifted and how we keep safe seems to be in perpetual flux. And there's this bridge we are gathered on as a SUUSI community, unsure about our future, leaning into new ways of being and becoming the covenanted, beloved community that we seek to be. These and many other bridges we cross throughout our lives definitely don't all come with rituals and parties or other signifiers, but finding ways to honor their existence in some small way, even just by naming them, can really be life-giving.
We are weaving our lives. We are weaving a blanket of light. We are weaving a basket to hold all that's true.
Bridges can be hard because we get to a new place and we have to leave the old place, even when it's a defining aspect of our identity. But each loss, just like with gratitude and grief, is companioned by something new. But in the darkness, we can't see anyone else on the journey. We hope there's a bridge underneath our feet, but crossing into unfamiliar territory can feel like stepping out into a void. We feel the shift in our chest. Something is different. Now is when we lift our light and see that here we are together in this in-between space, standing in the middle of the bridge, a space where the rules may be different. Our bodies, minds, interactions all feel different, but we are not alone. We are never alone.
We are weaving our lives. We are weaving our hearts and our minds. We are weaving the bright and dark threads of our journey through. We are weaving our lives. We are weaving a blanket of light. We are weaving a basket to hold all that's true.
Beloveds, we exist here in intentional community. Look around you. There are people gathered here who have already made the very crossing that you are in the midst of. They have knowledge and skills and tools that they can share with you. And there are people here with this bridge you are on in their future. You may be able to use your experience to help them make this crossing and know that they are not alone. And there are people here in this room who are on the very same bridge as you. They are right there with us if we take the time to look around, see someone else with that same lost look in their eyes, or tension in their voice or actions. Many of the colorful cloths reaching out from the stage to the balcony include words of grief and gratitude shared by this community. We tied them together, affirming the connection not only between these words that we wrote, but between all of our joys and sorrows, griefs and gratitudes. Because wherever we are in our lives, whatever bridges or transitions we are moving into, in the midst of, or have left behind us, our lives are woven together, tied, connected. Because part of being in intentional community includes committing to companioning one another across these chasms of change, to welcoming one another across these thresholds, to reaching forward and back and acknowledging the many transitions that we are in, and to holding and supporting one another through them. This is what covenant and community are all about.
We are weaving our lives. We are weaving our hearts and our minds. We are weaving the bright and dark threads of our journey through. We are weaving our lives. We are weaving a blanket of light. We are weaving a basket to hold all that's true. Amen. We are holding a lot. There is a lot that is true, including the fact that these 2 years on this unsturdy bridge, you know, the one that's held together with 4 ropes and does this across a big deep chasm, and you're not sure, and are you going to go or go back, right? And this bridge we've been on means that not only all of the graduations and celebrations and memorials and parties and all of those things were missed, but also for a special group of this beloved SUUSI community, a missing of the joy and honor of crossing this stage as a teen and being welcomed in the young adulthood. Now, I don't know if any of you are here, but those of you who did bridge virtually in 2020 or 2021, I'd love for you to come join me here on stage for a moment so we can honor you. Is there anyone who would like to come up? And it's okay. I know it's hard and it's tender, and I wanted to give you the opportunity. I mean, I know it isn't the same. Come on up. Come hang out with me. Come on. I knew they'd do it. See, they had to convince each other. But that's okay. That's what community does, right? Community. Oh, why don't you come around this way so you're not going to trip over all the cords. I'm going to take this mic out here. So I know this isn't exactly the same. The planning with a friend, what are you going to do? Waiting for the moment your name is called, having that special moment in the middle of the stage together. This moment shared with all of us. And as with so much in what I think of as our lost year, we did our best through technology, and it wasn't quite the same. It wasn't quite enough. I can't say I'm sorry because I didn't cause the pandemic. I didn't cause the pandemic, okay, guys? It wasn't me. But I would like to just offer you a blessing in song. I am sending you light to hold you, to hold you. I'm sending you light to hold you in love. No matter where you go, no matter where you've been, you'll never walk alone. We feel you deep within. We're sending you light to heal you, to hold you. We're sending you light to hold you in love. I love you.
Thank you.
I'm never just supposed to go. And now make your way to this side to join your fellow young adults as you prepare to welcome this year's Bridging Teens. Ben, our teen director, and I think Amanda, our assistant teen director, is here as well.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ben Ryan, and I have the privilege of being the teen director at the SUUSI. It has been a joy and a privilege to watch these 17-year-olds grow to the cusp of young adulthood. I've gotten to see you all blossom and grow into leaders in this amazing teen community, and that has been such a treasure to me to get to see you all interact in the dorm. It's been really amazing. Whether you've been with us since 14 or you joined us virtually, you're a part of our teen family. And you have each contributed your unique gifts to this magical and transformative space. You have laughed and played and danced together, supported each other through heartache, tears, and difficult times, and you forged deep bonds that will last far beyond your time as a teen. As young adults, you have the opportunity to create the loving, supportive, and joyful space you've known as teens for yourselves and for others at SUUSI too. I know that you will carry your teen dorm experiences, both in-person and virtual experiences, forwards as you become not only members, but active participants in the many facets of SUUSI life, and share your gifts with the greater SUUSI community for years to come. Tonight, we give you puzzle pieces as a symbol of the way you fit together and the way you forever fit with us. Although each of you is an individual within our community, you have come together and created a beautiful tapestry of friendship, much like the pieces of this puzzle come together to create a complete picture. Without each of you, this community would not have been complete. Take this piece of the teen community with you as a reminder that you are now and always will be connected and supported by each other, no matter how far and how wide your adventures take you. Additionally, we have chalice pendants kindly donated by the UUA for you. We are so grateful for their support of the SUUSI Teen program. I hope this gift will help you remember the deep and powerful friendships that you made over your time in the teen program. Now, I will read the name of each Bridger, and you'll get your items and cross the stage into young adulthood. So first up, we have John Michael Benedict. We have Alex Bedolf. Tyler Busby. Avery Clanton. Layla Hamilton. Katie Landrum Larkin. Deanna Murray Settled. Lulu Adore. What? Whoa. Oh my God. Okay, yeah. Let's give it up one more time for all our Bridgers. We all love you.
All right. Well, I'm actually going to first invite you all to take up space over here, right in the middle of everything so people can see you. So come on, come on, come on, come on. All of you yes, all of you huddle because we're about to play some music that you can dance to. Oh no, not dancing. And that's for y'all too. Thank you. And that dancing might be for everybody. Now, we're celebrating so many bridges here. And a bridge isn't just out and away, although for many of these young people, there'll be some out and away, which is great. But every bridge is easier when we remember that there are others who create space for us to move forward, to do the work, to continue building beloved community in a place that SUUSI friend and songwriter Reggie Harris calls the shelter of each other. So you can rise, you can move in your seat, you can clap, you can sing along. In the shelter of each other, in the shelter of our lives, we are open and we are dreaming. We are hopeful and we are wise. Many times the weight of the world crashes in. We feel angry and afraid. We start to lose our sense of hope, our sense of direction. The isolation we have learned will not bring much in return if we truly cannot learn to live as one. In the shelter of each other. In the shelter of our lives, we are open and we are dreaming. We are hopeful and we are wise. Many times the pain of the world crashes in. We feel broken and afraid. We start to lose our sense of joy, our sense of connection. And though our history remains, it's our actions we must change. If we hope to heal our planet, we must stay the shelter,
in the shelter
of each other,
of each other,
in the shelter,
in the shelter
of our lives. We are open, and we are dreaming,
and we are dreaming,
we are hopeful,
we are hopeful,
and we are wise. And now I send you forth, all of you, crossing bridges, making changes, each day a little better, a little more hopeful, brimming with possibility, remembering that wherever you are, there is a community loving and holding you in this shelter of each other, in the shelter,
in the shelter
of each other,
of each other,
in the shelter,
in the shelter
of our lives. We are open,
we are open,
and we are dreaming,
and we are dreaming,
we are hopeful, and we are wise. We are open, and we are dreaming, we are hopeful, and we are wise. We are wise. We are wise.